Alright, magandang hapon mga kabayan. It is currently 1:26 in the afternoon. So, going from the family-oriented vehicle kanina on the Honda Odyssey, punta naman tayo sa isang kasakyan na geared more towards mga single, mga couples na walang anak, yung couples may isang anak o may aso or whatnot. So, this vehicle here is something that's actually caught my eye for the past few years. Ever since it came out actually, na-curious na ako sa sasakyan na to. It just so happens that wala kasi akong kliyente na nag-request nito specifically, and I don't even know why people are still buying yung RVR when there is a much better option in the Eclipse Cross. So, para sa mga hindi nakakaalam, so hindi familiar, this is a 2019 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. So, ito yung kanilang parang mid-size na SUV offering, because before, they had the Mitsubishi Outlander. You guys have seen me feature that on my channel, parang YouTube. You guys have seen me feature that in my Facebook page before, yung Outlander, many times. I never featured yung RVR kasi I'm not a big fan of it personally. I think there's better options compared to the RVR. But then they also have this one na. So this is the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. So size-wise, it's very comparable actually. It's a nice in-between size between, sabihin natin, the Honda CR-V and the HR-V. Very close in design to the CHR, with the exception that this one is all-wheel drive, right? And styling-wise, a bit more edgier compared sa mga ibang competition yun na very rounded. So, my client Christelle actually, you were looking at various mga smaller SUVs, and this is actually one that I suggested that she agreed with would be a good vehicle for her, kasi it's a bit smaller, it's not as big as the other SUVs, and definitely fits yung budget price point where we want to be. So I told her, let me do a Facebook live video, show you, and of course the other followers and the other viewers natin mga features and benefits ng Eclipse Cross, and hopefully magustuhan niya, because she pretty much settled on this unit na. So guys, sa mga hindi nakakalam, ito ay this is a 2019 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. So let's look first and foremost at the vehicle. So yan yung harapan niya. Yung front fascia niya looks very modern. I like the way it looks. As you can see there, right? It's got those nice big fog lamps sa gilid, LED daytime running lights, right? Not as big and prominent compared to the other SUVs. So in size comparison wise, guys, very nice. We're right next to a RVR. So this is yung RVR, Mitsubishi RVR, right? It's a bit smaller compared sa Eclipse Cross, and that's why I said I've seen this unit before many times. Marami na akong kliyente tinake out sa RVR. I'm not gonna take back my word when I say na hindi ko siya recommended if you're looking at Mitsubishi. Let's look more at the Eclipse Cross now. So, yun yung gilid niya, yung harapan niya. So it's a bit bigger compared to RVR, right? And of course, what I like about this is yung modern styling niya, right? It's very edgy, as I said, right? Looks very modern. Wheelbase, as you can see, maganda alloy rims, all season tires, right? All-wheel drive din siya. So, one of the things that my client Christelle was actually considering first was the CX-3 and the HR-V. So size-wise, as you guys can see, and I've sold the HR-V before, guys. I'm not hating on the HR-V, but I've sold the HR-V before. This actually is higher off the ground kumpara sa HR-V, and higher off the ground kumpara sa CX-3. The CX-3 is actually very close to the ground. I've sold it before. My mom has one. I've driven it before, so it's not as high off the ground kumpara sa Eclipse Cross, right? And price point wise, they're very similar. Actually, mas mahal nga ng konti ang CX-3 tsaka ang HR-V kumpara sa Eclipse Cross. So space wise naman, here's another good thing about this compared to the CX-3 and the HR-V. So yung space niya dito, it's actually pretty good. See? Pretty good trunk space. As I said, it's not a pang-pamilya na sasakyan. Hindi siya yung 7-seater, hindi siya yung pang-maramihan na kargada. Pero kung sabihin natin magjowa lang kayo, mag-asawa kayo, isa lang anak ninyo, meron kayong alagang aso, this is actually enough space na. You get the tonneau cover here, right? It's always nice as well. Ipakita ko lang yung ilalim nito, ha. Yan yung kanyang spare tire. So as I said, it's a lifestyle vehicle mainly for young couples, mga walang anak, or mga isa lang anak or alagang aso. Kung merong dalawang anak mo o may pamilya na kayo, this is not a vehicle I would recommend. Space wise, kasi eventually magpapalit ka rin. Let's close that down. Ayun yung kanyang backup camera there. A very sharp styling all around the vehicle actually. So let's look here naman. It's middle row. So again, since the vehicle is higher off the ground, there's a bit more space. Dun nga sa comparison vehicles ni Cristel, this actually has a lot more legroom kumpara dun sa CX-3 tsaka sa HR-V, right? I guess the CX-3 and the HR-V are more comparable dun sa RVR. But as I said, you know, there's for a little bit more extra. Mas maganda na yung Eclipse Cross kumpara sa RVR. And I've had a lot of clients who had RVRs in the past na nagsisi na binili rin yung sasakyan, right? So that's not my thing. So you got a power outlet here. Isa lang, but okay, right? 60-40 split there on this one as well. So it folds down flat, just like that. Now, punta naman tayo sa harapan. So, one thing na meron naman itong sasakyan na to, na wala yung iba, is yung, first and foremost, yung blind spot monitor. May blind spot monitor siya dito. These actually are power windows. So, pag linak mo yung sasakyan, sinat off mo siya, they will fold by themselves. You know, again, an extra nice fancy feature. So, let's go inside. So, very nice styling on the seats there, right? Go in. So, pretty good space. Pretty good space. As I said, I'm 5'10". I think 5'10", 5'11". Kalimutan ko na. And I have pretty good leg room here for driving. I don't feel cramped at all. It's a nice thing. Now, here's the biggest update when it comes to mga Mitsubishi. With the newer models now. They have a very modern, updated front console na, right? But I remember the times when the Mitsubishi vehicles, right, yung front console niya was actually wala kang ganyan eh. Parang analog lang yung radio, tapos yung touchscreen niya is dito, maliit lang din. So they've really stepped up their game with the Eclipse Cross. So as you can see there, sa yung apps niya. So it doesn't have Google Play or Android Auto kumpara dun sa Odyssey. Of course, we're comparing two completely different vehicles, right? But it does have the touchscreen as well, so you can see there settings and all that stuff. It also has two charging ports here, two USB charging ports, right? Dual zone climate controls. Kalimutan ko there, sorry. Of course, the all-wheel drive, which you can control with the press of a button. So as you can see there, different settings: snow, gravel, auto, all of that. All of the systems here are based on sensors na. So before, in the older Mitsubishi models, you can actually go into front wheel drive and all wheel drive. Right now they have this setting, so it's auto, snow, and gravel based on where you're driving. So it's good. Push button start as well on this one. This is the SE trim, guys. So there is the ES, the base model, SE technology, and then the GT. GT is the top of the line one, right? So when it comes to mga ganitong klaseng sasakyan, it all comes down to features when you go different trim levels. So if you go a higher trim level, you get, for example, the SE Tech has a bunch of extra safety features on it, right? It doesn't necessarily have a different engine or a different performance. Different, you know, features lang na meron. You still get the reliability, you still get yung quality nung sasakyan. And I've sold Mitsubishis before, many times na, mainly Outlanders, a Lancer here and there. Wala pa ako naging reklamo na rinig so far sa mga kliyente ko na kumuha ng Mitsubishi. Well, kumuha sa akin, I'm not sure sa ibang dealer. Pero at the same time, you also get the nice eco mode button here, right? Which helps with the fuel consumption. So another difference between this vehicle and the other ones, this is a 1.5 liter turbo engine. So I've mentioned before sa mga kliyente ko, turbo engines, they require a bit more extra maintenance, right? Because of the turbo. But it's first and foremost definitely up to you kung paano mo siya i-maintain, right? And then second of all, it has its own benefits na rin, right? So, you know, that's mainly for power and performance, right? At the same time, some fuel economy, because what manufacturers will do, like in this case here, they put a turbo on a smaller, tawag dito, I don't want to say smaller engine, pero yung smaller fuel displacement, so 1.5 liter fuel displacement, and then they put a turbo on it, right, on an SUV. Normally a 1.5 liter engine, you'll see that in like a car, right? That's where this unit actually wins kumpara sa HRV, because the HRV has the old Honda Civic engines, I believe, the 1.8 liter ones, non-turbo, regular. Those are the ones that they put sa HRV, whereas the competition, like in this one here, has a 1.5 liter turbo. The CX-3 na kino-consider ni Cristel has a 2.0 liter Skyactiv engine, right? So again, different options, different offerings. So otherwise, Another nice feature this thing has is like this little trackpad, which I was trying to figure out how to use kanina. So you can actually use it here, for example. Para siyang mouse. Yung finger mo yung mouse, ganyan mo siya. O control mo yung nasa screen dito. How practical is that? Not too sure. I'm playing around with it. It's nice, pero you know, it does lose a bit of functionality there. So I just probably wouldn't use this. It's not as nice as the Mazda one, the knob lang na ganun, right? But at the same time, you can also use the touchscreen option anyways, right? So, you know, the whole trackpad thing here has its uses, right? Has its appeal to some people, right? Just press that, right? I guess if you have like OCD and di ka mapakali, you can play around with this. Parking brake is here na, push a button. Still the regular shifting, right? Not the knob, pero as you can see there, regular. So backup camera, neutral, drive, I'll put it back in park. Glove box is here. Manuals are still here. The Eclipse Cross 2019. So otherwise, I think, for Cristel, I think this actually works really well for you. Given yung size ng unit, the parking of where you're gonna be parking, because I've seen, you know, parking space and all that stuff. Yung purpose mo, right? This actually is a unit, personal opinion ko, a lot better compared to the CX-3 tsaka sa HR-V na kino-consider mo. You do get more space, higher ground clearance, right? It actually feels like an SUV, pero you're not driving like a bigger size like a CR-V or a RAV4. And price point wise, it's not there as well. Mas mura siya kumpara sa mga unit na ganon, right? If you don't need the extra space naman, why spend extra on it, right? Kung wala pa namang balak mag-family or mag-anak kagad na marami, right? This unit will last you for a long time. And of course, the main selling point ng Mitsubishi, guys, is yung kanyang 10-year powertrain warranty. 10 years or 160,000 kilometers powertrain warranty, which is not offered by any other manufacturer. At the same time, maganda rin yung kanyang basic warranty. Basic warranty niya is 5 years, right? Other Japanese manufacturers like Toyota, Honda, Nissan, Subaru, their basic warranty is actually only 3 years or 60,000 kilometers, while Mitsubishi has a 5 years or 100,000 kilometers. And that also includes yung kanyang roadside assistance. So you get the roadside assistance for free for 5 years, right? Doesn't matter if it's brand new or used, as long as it's within those 5 years, yung year ng sasakyan, right? And you're still within the kilometer parameters, then you're good to go, right? So that was one thing that Cristel wanted me to clear up. Akala kasi nila na if they go used unit, wala nang warranty. No, you still get the balance of factory warranty, right? If you go used. Pero in this case, you know, it's a brand new unit we're looking at. So you get the full warranty, right? Based on the vehicle. So it's just a matter of picking out which trim ang gusto mo. So you also got paddle shifters. I didn't go over the paddle shifters because it doesn't really serve yung purpose niya, I think, right? You're not driving this for performance or racing or stuff like that, right? It's more of a day-to-day vehicle. So let's focus more on the day-to-day benefits niya para sa'yo. So otherwise, I think it's a really good option to consider. Better than the other two options na we were looking at. More powerful than the HR-V, more space than the CX-3. Price point wise, very close in price to the HR-V. But as I said, higher ground clearance, longer warranty. And it just looks nicer. Like, look. Oh, what's that? So as you can see here, mas maganda siya kumpara naman sa mga ibang kakompetensya niyang unit. So I think definitely you made the right choice. We're gonna go with the Eclipse Cross. Now it's just gonna be a matter of finding the unit that fits yung approval natin. So sa mga nanonood po ngayon, sa mga interesado, if you guys are looking for a smaller SUV, you don't want a CR-V or a RAV4, right? Definitely consider the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. Like so far what I've seen on the specs, being inside the vehicle here, touching it, seeing it myself, it has a lot to offer, right? And of course, if you guys are in between the RVR and the Eclipse Cross, again, personal experience, just go with the Eclipse Cross, right? The RVR is old, outdated, hasn't been updated in a long time. So just go with the Eclipse Cross, guys, if you're deciding between the two. Otherwise, as I said, kung naghahanap kayo ng maliit na SUV, definitely a good option to consider. Lots to offer. So Cristel, ito yung 2019 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. So I hope nagustuhan mo siya, and we'll get this all set up for you na. and we'll see if we can find you yung color na gusto mo. Otherwise guys, thank you so much for watching. As I mentioned before, kahit saan po tayo sa Alberta, Saskatchewan, or British Columbia, mag-message lang po kayo sa akin, free delivery anywhere. Cristel is only here sa Edmonton, which is good. Otherwise, this is the 2019 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross SE. Thank you very much, and hope you guys have a great afternoon.